Good morning. This is Letitia with Soul Spread Wisdom, and I'm here today to just talk about being in the flow of the energies. And right now, we are experiencing Mars retrograde as I'm recording this. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in particular. So today is September 29th. So we have been actually in the retrograde for 20 days now. And I can say that I feel the retrograde, and I know that I am not alone in that. As we talk about Mars retrograde, there are multitudes of videos out there explaining what the Mars retrograde is, and I'm adding my 2 cents to it. And Mars, of course, is our outward movement. It is the planet and the energy associated with us, how we initiate sex, how we like to have sex, how we like to do things, how we like to walk, how we like to exercise, how we like to initiate whatever it is that we are doing. And it shows how we carry it out, how we logically process information, whether it's emotional, depending on the sign that it's in, and so forth. But right now, Mars is in his own sign, in the sign of Aries, and he is retrograde, meaning that it appears in the sky that he is moving backwards. And as he is moving backwards, he is a very external energy. So as he is moving backwards, it is causing us and the things that we would be normally initiating and pushing forward and taking action towards, is causing all of that or asking us to internalize. Let's go inward. That's what the loving universe is saying right now. Let's go inward. It's time for us to go in, and let's take a look-see at why we have been taking the actions that we've been taking, and let's clean some things up. Let's get some things straightened up so that you can be on course with what it is that you are assigned to do. So of course it's going to depend on what house it is in, transiting in your natal chart. So if you are an Aries rising person, or even an Aries sun or Aries moon, you will be feeling this in the first house, the area that has to do with your body, with yourself. So with Mars, being retrograde, if you are an Aries person, it's going to be asking you to, and it is asking you to look at your body. Look at your body. What do you feel about your body? What do you think about your body? What do you think about how you have been moving your body? And it will be tied to, because it's making a lot of squares to those major big planets in Capricorn. So it's asking you to change perhaps the vision or the understanding that you have of your body, of yourself in the world, and causing transformation to happen in that, and then bringing up blockages as it relates to how you want to move your body, perhaps. Aries rising people typically are people who are athletic, and they like to be out and climbing mountains and hiking and things like that. And with Saturn making a square, which that's happening this week, to Mars in Aries. Of course, Saturn is going direct today as I'm recording this. it's causing this, blockages as far as how you want to move, perhaps um, in exercising. And if you wanted to have maybe a plastic surgery, there are delays because of the Saturn square. And then with Pluto, who will be squaring Mars later on, there's transformation that is happening on the deepest levels as far as how you think about your body. The way you see your body is being transformed. And then, of course, Jupiter making this, when he comes along, and then the square is happening with Mars. Then there is, frustration with how, again, you wanted to expand, or your beliefs about your body. So all of this is happening, and I use Aries in particular in that example. But for all of us, regardless of where Mars is transiting, it's also affecting the natal Mars. So the natal Mars is being challenged, and questions are being brought to the forefront regarding wherever Mars is in your natal chart as well. So it is really it's a challenging time, because we always typically like to be doing something. We want to be pushing forward. We want to be making a name for ourselves. We want to be shining. But this aspect that is happening, these aspects that are happening right now, this major transformative time that we are in, is really asking all of us to go into the quiet and be honest with ourselves. And as Mars is the surgeon associated with knives and cuttings, it's asking us to go in and be honest. And as the universe, the ancestors are prompting us, the divine is prompting us to take a flashlight and a surgical knife to ourselves internally, to be honest about whatever area that these challenging aspects are showing up for us. Mars retrograde, and then, of course, making the squares to the planets in Capricorn, is asking us to be the surgeon. And if we are the surgeon, if we take the knife, the internal spiritual knife, as we are prompted, and cut out the necrosis, and cut out those things within us that actually hinder us, that actually are faithless, that actually are not of trust, that are actually that actually bind us with fear. Those things that bind us with fear, those things that were planted within us, that keep us small from our childhood, those things that were programmed into us from school and teachers and even preachers, or people who were not evolved, and people who were very hurt themselves and could not see the best, so they spoke things that were not the best, and so we've looped inside of these false teachings and low vibrating energies, because we did not know better. But as time has gone on, we've been privy to higher information. We've been privy to information that can cause us to live a more healthy life, or to live a more freeing life, or to live a life that is filled with love and light. But it is our choice to hear what the universe, what the ancestors, what the divine is bringing to us at this time, and asking us to take the knife and to sever hatred, to sever our relationship with fear, to sever our relationship with poverty, to sever our relationship with lack, to sever our relationship with bitterness. And you know where those things are. To sever our relationship with low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-value, and replace it with that which is higher, with that which is of truth, with that which is of the light, with that, replace it with that which will add to yourself and to others, as opposed to taking away, as opposed to being in the dark and low and shielded off and guarded for fear of the unknown, and come to a place of trust. And that cannot be done by moving externally. And the universe knows that. And in wisdom, in great divine wisdom, has arranged it at this time and in this hour that we would be experiencing the Mars retrograde, making the square to Saturn, because with this divine wisdom, there is an understanding for us on a personal level, and of course on the mundane level. But right now we're talking about on the personal level. This kind and loving universe that we are part of understands that for me in particular, and for you in particular, there are areas that must be addressed, that cannot be addressed as we focus externally on all of the things that we want to do. It has to be a retraction of the energy in us, enable for us to be able to look inside and see where it is that we have not been thinking the best, where we have not been operating the best, because everything that is presenting itself to us externally begins internally. It begins from our place of thinking and feeling and self-knowing and self-knowledge. And perhaps we have not known ourselves. We have not known ourselves as to who we are. Perhaps we have been so focused on presenting ourselves socially in such a way that is not a true representation of who we are. And it is perhaps because we have not known who we are, because we have not been able to take the time to be quiet and to listen and to see and go within and say, who am I truly, and what is it that I want to represent in the world. And in order to do that, we need a Mars retrograde in Aries to do it, making the squares to these powerful planets. And we are not without hope. We are safe when we are in the flow, when we are in the flow of the universe, when we are in the flow. If we are experiencing this Mars retrograde in such a way that we are trying to push and press past the retrograde. We're going to press past this invitation to go within, because it's uncomfortable for us to look at who we truly are, look at what we truly believe, look at what really needs to come under the spiritual surgical knife. Then it can be a huge loss, a very painful time, one that will not yield the results of wisdom if we are pressing against, like the Bible says, kicking against the prick. If you are kicking against the prick, your foot will be bloody. If you are trying to press forward and say, "Oh, I'm not subject to these energies. I'm not, this doesn't pertain to me because I'm, a divine being," and so forth and so on. So I'm going to press forward and make it work anyway. It is a move that is not in wisdom or knowledge for that case. So, I just wanted to offer this up very quickly. That was on my mind this morning. And just for anyone who hears this to be reassured that though we are experiencing delays and though we are experiencing the frustrations that come along with the squares, if we allow our hearts and minds to enter into this place of trust with the universe, trust that we are safe within the universe and that all is working for our good, then we will come out on the other side wiser, more healed, understanding how to better move in our bodies, move in this plane, move more successfully, where we are able to serve ourselves and serve others better, because we will have been able to spend the time and be able to see the truth of who we are, and in ways that we need to heal, we need to alter, we need to make corrections, we need to forgive, we need to bring light to others, or we need to, because Mars is offering us an opportunity to correct some actions that we have taken. As Mars is about taking action, where we have taken actions too rashly, too impulsively, where we have, hurt people and just, pushed forward. Mars is offering us an opportunity to go back and make that right, to go back and clean some things up. And then once we move forward, then we have an energy, then we are vibrating higher, and we are able to accomplish more than we would have been able to do had we not gone back and cleaned things up, cut some things out, and gotten the broom, swept some things up and out, saged our internal selves, if you will. A lot of different analogies, but you get my point. So again, I'm Letitia with Soul Spread Wisdom. I thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.